Hello again. Welcome to lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God. There are not different kinds of life, for life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition in which all that God created share. Like all his thoughts, it has no opposites. There is no death because what God created shares his life. There is no death because an opposite to God does not exist. There is no death because the Father and the Son are one. In this world, there appears to be a state that is life's opposite. You call it death. Yet we have learned that the idea of death takes many forms. It is the one idea which underlies all feelings that are not supremely happy. It is the alarm to which you give response of any kind that is not perfect joy. All sorrow, loss, anxiety, and suffering and pain, even a little sigh of weariness, a slight discomfort, or the merest frown, acknowledge death, and thus deny you live. You think that death is of the body, yet it is but an idea, irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in your mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it, but its origin is where it must be changed, if change occurs. Ideas leave not their source. The emphasis this course has placed on that idea is due to its centrality in our attempts to change your mind about yourself. It is the reason you can heal. It is the cause of healing. It is why you cannot die. Its truth established you as one with God. Death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. It is the belief conditions change, emotions alternate because of causes you cannot control, you did not make, and you can never change. It is the fixed belief ideas can leave their source and take on qualities the source does not contain, becoming different from their own origin, apart from it in kind as well as distance, time, and form. Death cannot come from life. Ideas remain united to their source. They can extend all that their source contains. In that, they can go far beyond themselves. As they are made, so will their making be. As they are born, so will they then give birth. And where they come from, there they will return. The mind can think it sleeps, but that is all. It cannot change what is in its waking state. It cannot make a body, nor abide within a body. What is alien to the mind does not exist because it has no source. For mind creates all things that are and cannot give them attributes it lacks, nor change its own eternal mindful state. It cannot make the physical. What seems to die is but the sign the mind is asleep. The opposite of life can only be another form of life. As such, it can be reconciled with what created it because it is not opposite in truth. Its form may change, it may appear to be what it is not, yet mind is mind, awake or sleeping. It is not its opposite in anything created, nor in what it seems to make when it believes it sleeps. God creates only mind awake. He does not sleep, and his creations cannot share what he gives not, nor make conditions which he does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite of thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thoughts of God remain forever changeless, with power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. What seems to be the opposite of life is merely sleeping. When the mind elects to be what it is not, and to assume an alien power which it does not have, a foreign state it cannot enter, or false condition not within its source, it merely goes to sleep a while. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen never has occurred. The changes wrought are substanceless, and all events are nowhere. When the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was. Let us today be children of that truth and not deny our holy heritage. Our life is not as we imagine it. Who changes life because he shuts his eyes, or makes himself what he is not because he sleeps, and sees and dreams an opposite of what he is? We will not ask for death in any form today, nor will we let imagined opposites to life abide even in an instant where the thought of life eternal has been set by God Himself. His holy home we strive to keep today as He established it, and wills it be forever and ever. He is Lord of what we think today, and His thoughts, which have no opposite, we understand there is one life, and that we share with Him, with all creation, with their thoughts as well, whom He created in a unity of life that cannot separate in death and leave the source of life from whence it came. We share one life because we have one source, a source from which perfection comes to us, remaining always in the holy mind which He created perfect. As we were, so we are now and will forever be. A sleeping mind must waken as it sees its own perfection mirroring the Lord of life so perfectly it fades into what is reflected there. And now it is no more a mere reflection, it becomes the thing it reflected, and the light which makes reflection possible. No vision is needed now, for the wakened mind is the one that knows its source, itself, its holiness. And that is the end of lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God. This reading may just need a lot of repetition in the reading because there's an awful lot of words that kind of go against the grain of what we have always believed. And so, more than trying to figure out how this can be true, it's about understanding the concept, the idea that God created us, and God's, if you will, the idea that God's DNA created us always awake, always in joy, always in peace, without any other opposite. There is no sorrow, there is no death. If there is no DNA for it, it cannot be created. We believe that we are a mutation of God, and we are not a mutation of God. We have simply gone to sleep. We have done the what if scenario. It's not unlike, you know, we cannot give birth to other animals. Frogs can't give birth to dogs, cats, birds, because it's not in the genetic makeup. Well, our genetic makeup, if you will, our spiritual genetic makeup is love and it's light. And so we are beings of love and light, and there is no darkness that resides within us. It is when we have the thought, when we go to sleep and do the what if scenario in our heads, that we see all of that darkness. And so this is just the big concept that we have to understand, that this world really does not exist. And it's not an easy concept to understand. So rather than try to completely wrap your head around the whole thing, just begin to play with it a little bit. All right, let's see what happens with Tina Spalding's channelings. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. These lessons have become quite a challenge to your belief system, have they not? They have, in fact, really poked at some of the fundamental ideas you hold about yourself, your life, and your purpose here. You are not a body. You are a spirit encased in a heavy physical material manifestation of separation, and it is not who you are. The body is not who you are, and the body is the only thing that seems to die because you leave it. You leave it when your life here is done, when you have expressed and opened to as many new ideas as you are able to in this lifetime. When you have done all the work you can do here, then it is time for you to leave this place of separation. With you go all the ideas that have not yet been healed and the need for another incarnation. There is something this generation is very lucky to have in their experience: the opportunity to awaken completely within the body in this lifetime. but you must dedicate yourself to love and not fear. This is why your society promotes fear so intensely. They understand this is the end of a spiritual season, and this galactic speed up gives you the opportunity to awaken completely in your lifetime. What does this mean for you? Well, it means you choose love as often as you can. It means you do not embolden your fears by indulging in them. It means you make changes in your life where you feel strongly that they need to be made because Spirit asks that you be yourself. Spirit asks you to be the loving, self expressing, love extending idea in the mind as God you truly are. That means you honor yourself. You honor those things you feel drawn to because you are drawn to them for a purpose. You are drawn to them because those things are in your mind. Some of you will say, well, I'm drawn to bad things. And we say, well, if you are drawn to bad things, then you are not doing the course lessons. You are not aligning with them. You are not practicing them. Bad things are not in alignment with these teachings. You must look at how you utilize your free will and preferences. Sometimes these lessons go against your preferences, and this challenges those of you told you must go with the feelings you have to do what you want to do. We have described to you the difference between the ego's needs and those deeply arising passions, ideas, and inspirations that come from deep within your heart and mind. They have a different feel, and only you can discern which are ego driven. If you go beneath the form, you get a feeling of limitation and fear. If I don't get this, someone won't love me. If I don't behave this way, I will be abandoned. These are fearful ideas and feelings. When you are guided by spirit to express your true nature, you get a positive feeling. You get a feeling of excitement, elevation, and joy. And only you can know the difference between those things. Seek joy in every moment you can. When you feel those fearful ego drives, pick up a Course in Miracles book and read it for a little while. Call me to help you. Ask for assistance in letting go of an old pattern that no longer serves you. I will come and you will feel different. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. And that is the end of Tina Spalding's channelings. If we always look for love, we are always looking for our truth. We are always looking for that connection to spirit. If we are feeling all of the limitation, the lack, the angst, we are either perceiving incorrectly or we are being shown something that is simply no longer serving us or not alignment in our truth, with our truth. And so it's becoming aware of really the internal dialogue and the internal rules within yourself, and knowing that your truth is light and love and peace. And if you are not feeling any of that, then I strongly encourage you to seek some support from whatever form of counseling or therapy resonates with you so that you can work through those issues, those situations, those emotions to bring you to that place where your truth resides, which is peace and love. And simply praying, asking for help will help to set you on that right path because your prayers are heard and they are answered. We just need to be open to those answers. Have a great day, everyone. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.